Hi everyone, this will be the presentation for the landmark. Welcome. And for those agents who are tuning in, please absorb as much information as possible so that you can share with your potential friends and clients. And for those clients who are tuning into this video, this will be a very short, sharp and sweet video to let you understand more about the project landmark that we are launching and how does this concern you. So first, I want to share with you some of the key growths for 2020 and beyond. A summary of a 10 and 20 years challenge and what can we learn from the pandemic and which are the sectors to focus on upon recovery. And lastly, we will end off with the buyer's behavior in the city fringe. And also I'll share some interviews with some of the actual residents that have been staying here at the former landmark towers. And most important, to end off to contact your authorized sales representative who send you this video clip. So let's take a look at the past 10 to 20 years challenge, and this has been one of the trending tagline a couple of months ago. And if you look at the year 2000, where the transformation was just a dream, and probably people just thought about, no, how can the CBD even grow further? And today we look at the vibrancy of the CBD. And do you believe that what you see right now today, the vibrance of the CBD, Marina Bay area, Central Business District, there's more opportunities and potential to further rejuvenate? And personally, growing up in the eastern sector where people used to think that the reclaimed land, there's so much you can do. And today, the eastern sector has evolved into such a vibrant coastal residential lifestyle area as well. But today we are not talking about that. We want to share more about the heart of the country, which is the Central Business District. And you look at the Central Business District here today, okay, at Marina Bay before the transformation and the stunning transformation after when all is built and with the sands, the IR in place, and I guess there's a new Apple floating store too that's opening up very soon. But we want to bring your attention here, but if we can have a time machine right now and turn back the clock to purchase properties in the nearby region, would you choose to buy at A, before the transformation, or at B, after the transformation? Of course, there's no time machine as far as we know today. Having said that, what if your B is your A today? And what is going to happen 10 years down the road? Let's learn some. Let's go back into history right now. We can't turn back time, but we can learn something from the past. That is the pandemic that happened during the year 2003. And as far as I understand, all these purely personal opinion. Of course, they do come from factual case studies and research. That if we look at the 2003 and 2006, that time when the SARS was ongoing, the pandemic, and surprisingly, the property prices were very resilient and there was no sign of dip or any crash. In fact, property price was very resilient and it was over time, and it was over time that the recovery grew all the way up to 2008, where unfortunately there was a dip in the market. But we want to talk about the recovery phase before we go further. The recovery phase happened in just a short 2-year span. Can you imagine? 2006, 2007, and up when the market, 2008, significant jump. And I want to bring your attention to just one of the case that personally I have paid a lot of interest in, that is the Icon. And imagine those people who bought in year 2003 at, yes, at a price of 300 per square foot. And it flew all the way up to 1,001 per square foot in 2007, and where the buyer who bought the new launch at a low per square foot, and it was during that time, 2003, where people were in the pandemic and everybody was fearful and uncertain where the market would be going. This buyer took the opportunity and he made a $1.3 million gain before reduction of the taxes and other marketing costs. But I just want to bring, maybe this guy is lucky, you will say, Paul, we are bringing some extreme cases, but I also want to share some conservative cases like the one on the bottom, that is the Icon that that actually was launched earlier, year 2000, but one of the buyer that was concerned about the pandemic and probably he needs the money maybe, or he's unsure where the property prices would move to, they sold at 2003 April in 3 years time. At that time, remember 20 years ago, there was no seller stamp duty, so people are free to buy today and sell tomorrow. And I guess that's where the prices fluctuate so much, but let's not go too far into that. So the buyer who saw the opportunity at 2003, who came in at a sub sale, bought at 437 per square foot and made a whooping gain of 376,000 when he sold during the recovery period of 2007-2008. So these are some cases that we can draw from the growth, and for those who took calculated risk, they came in. Probably they do not have a speculative thought that they want to buy and flip within a couple of years. But the fact that they made money is something that we cannot deny, because these are all figures that are being transacted. So how does this pandemic concern us? Because we are not here to time the market, but we do recognize for a fact today, right now in September 2020, we do recognize there are lots of opportunities based on the sensitive nature of the market situation and the economy right now. So these are my opinion, and of course, I'm looking forward and I'm very pessimistic, but not overly optimistic about the growth. But we do want to be ready when the growth happens. And these are my research of two key sectors that we want to focus on. That is the central business district growth and also medical advancement over the years. As we do know right now, medical advancement is definitely one of the priority. And as we speak at this very moment, we hope and pray that the vaccine will be out soon and the numbers for the COVID cases continue to drop, and we wish for things to happen globally as well. So what's happening to the heart of our Singapore? Okay, and we're talking about the central business district. We spoke about, our Prime Minister spoke about the Greater Southern Waterfront, and we believe that in time to come that will materialize. But I want to share more about the downtown core area as well, Marina South, downtown core area, and the medical campus that's going to be expanded. So I share more about the CBD first, because there's a huge rejuvenation incentive that's happening in the Marina Bay area. It's quite a huge area that they want to have a mixed use and a lot more residential, hotels and lifestyle possibilities in the near future. And we look at the three popular streets in the CBD, Anson, Cecil, and Robertson, Shenton Way, Tanjong Pagar area. And these are all areas that are awaiting rejuvenation incentives for people who want to enhance work, live, and play. And I just want to touch and go about the waterfront, because everybody's talking about the southern waterfront. In fact, this is not something to be ignored, because a couple of decades back, remember, there were people also speaking about the Marina Bay transformation. And some people were skeptical, some people were hopeful, but those who bought, I'm happy for them, because today they have benefit and reap the reward of the seed that they sowed. So what will happen in the CBD area as URA is reviewing, because right now, this COVID-19, we needed more space than ever. And having said that, space is so difficult to find, especially in the central business area. So as they have healthier regulations, to have bigger shops for lifestyle people to come together. But what will happen to space? Can I only say one thing? That as spaces becomes more and more scarce and people need more space, the demand and the supply, as we all know, where it will hit to. So I want to pay a bit more attention towards this city area, where is one of the key sectors I really want to focus on. And today we are not here to talk about the OCR, RCR, or CCR, but we just want to talk about the main city location itself. As the city continue to have rejuvenation incentive, and along with the southern waterfront and the medical campus that is around this area, the project that I want to share with you with the most potential that I foresee within this season is smack right at the fringe of the city, Outram area. So let me share a bit more about this RCR. Okay, today, as of September 2020, we see that the transacted per square foot of RCR projects We talk about one in the Wood Lake residence. It's an amazing project, very good location as well. Have transacted at a new 2,331 per square foot as we speak. Couple of months, if you read this slide, if you see this video, probably the price has changed. But today, as of September 2020, is 2,331, and Paya Lebar, an amazing place as well, where my childhood used to be, the Katong area, has reached also 2,281 per square foot. So right now, as we imagine these prices achieving a new high, we need to take some time to get accustomed to this per square foot as one of the more popular RCR region. However, having a choice, if possible today, we can enter a city fringe project at probably the same per square foot or maybe even lower. Wouldn't that be exciting? Let's talk a bit about the master plan and how this URA master plan affects you. I'm going to zoom down into the area of focus where I want to bring emphasis on. That is the Outram area, this Outram district, and our project we're talking about is the landmark tower, is the landmark itself. The landmark itself, as you can see, is situated next to Pearls Hill Park, the nice hill and the 9 hectares of greenery that is just sitting next to it. And this is the master plan 2014. I want to switch to and fro between these slides to let you see the difference. Can you see the plot of land that is next to this development from 2014 as they expanded and changed in 2019? An orange area subjected to detailed planning. And as far as we know, take a look. Orange area, what do they represent in terms of the type of property? If for those who guess residential, you are right. And if there is going to be a residential plot just next to the landmark, what do you think? In a location where land is limited, what is going to be the land cost and the future development, and of course that concerns you, the future launch prices? Go figure. This location where we are right now, the landmark, we are sitting on numerous plots of URA gazetted residential location. These are all residential sites that are subjected to detailed planning. Some of them, the plot ratio may change. And as far as we know, in the land limited location in the city fringe area, we know where the future launch prices is going to be. And I want to touch a bit on the newer developments within this region. Okay, there's SGH, by the way. This campus is just a 10 minutes, 12 minutes walk from here. And as far, why am I highlighting this? Because previously when I was handling this project at the Landmark Tower, the former en bloc project Landmark Tower, there were medical professionals who love the location, yet at the same time, they have a house to go back to stay that is far, that is away from sites from their work where SGH is, because at any point of time, the view is fantastic. Later on, I will show you some of the slides of the view taken from the actual unit itself. So I'll just talk a bit about the SGH campus. In the future, there's the master plan, which has 43 hectares of land. And by the way, this is a medical campus where there will be researchers, there will be medical professionals, doctors, professors that's going to be here to work. And probably Singapore is going to be one of the Asia's hub for medical advancements. And as we do know right now, medical field is highly sought after. And wow, I can imagine you as one of the potential homeowner here who owns a unit here to rent out to future professionals. And as we can see, the demand will be very strong. But I do not want to say this only because on the future development, but there are some projects around the area. Later on, I'll show you why the rental is so solidly strong. Okay, as this campus here, the medical field is set to, in Singapore, is one of the one of the top 6 healthcare ranking in the world. So I guess the hub of advancement will really be in Singapore as well. So today, as the advancement, this is the health science location here taken on the actual timeline right now where it's under development. The MRT is being actually the roads and the adjustments are being enhanced over here at A. So in the future, you see from point B, this is where we talk about the future timeline. If today 2020 we are sitting on constructions and development, can you imagine 2030 and beyond when the landmark is ready and the future campus and CBD rejuvenation is all in place? Do you want to buy today, or would you want to let history repeat itself at B, where you made a guess? Because we have learned, I mean, the best thing is that we learn. Humans are learning creatures. Creatures, can I say creatures? Of course not. We learn, and we want to learn from our past history so that we can have seeds sow today and reap the rewards tomorrow, isn't it? This is the view taken from the actual unit level 34 of the former landmark towers. Amazing view, okay. Feeling the heartbeat of Singapore itself. I just want to share a bit more about the upcoming launches. And as we can see, Landmark Tower has been en bloc and sold at a land value of 1,406 PSF. And I want to put some comparison of, I bring your attention to Chinatown Plaza, where it's, of course, it's freehold, and the land is transacted at 1,009.15 per square foot. So being one of the more attractively priced land bids for Landmark, can we be looking forward to an attractive entry price when the project is launched? And I just want to create some excitement here, because we are also very excited to be awaiting for some of the key units that we will help you to identify, that we know, and we for sure we see that there are huge potential in terms of the entry level, how you can get to own a City Fringe project at one of the most attractive quantum that when it is launched. So I'll talk about the cash out and ownership depending on how long you want to hold the project, because for condo prices in District 3, as this is a draft of the research that we have done, because we look at one of the neighboring district, there's a couple of projects over the past 10, 15 years, 05, and we see a strong increase of the property prices, 208% since 2005. So I think this is very assuring. Even if the market starts to soften, we still foresee a stable growth. And I think stability is one of the important factors right now. We also sought for. But with 208% over the past 15 years, I think we are very safe in District 3 itself. And in the future, for let's say we look at the one bedder. For the one bedder, we can see, yes, the rental in Singapore has been rather slow a little bit in terms of the yield. However, we do see that there's a stability in terms of this district. And because of the volume that's picking up, let's look at the diagram on the left, where the volume has been picking up, that's where we see the per square foot prices starting to stabilize. And if we look on the right itself, we look at the District 2 and 3 City Fringe location, an average of 2,004 per square foot. And can I safely say, if there are entry-level projects that are entry-level units that is priced somewhere in between this average, or maybe even lower than this research average, can I say it's a price that you can seriously consider? And do speak to your authorized sales representative to find out more about the pricing. And I want to talk about some of the TOP projects. That means the project that's already been completed. The TOP projects, I choose highlighted 4 for the one bidder, the Commonwealth, Spottiswoode, Sky Suites, and Echelon. So we look at the Commonwealth Towers, the project itself. Who are the people that are buying this one bidder? And many would feel that, maybe it's those private upgraders, maybe it's those HDB upgraders, or maybe it is those couples who just want to buy a one bidder and stay. And how do we know that? Because based on the research that we check from Square Foot, we look at the purchasers address. They come from HDB investors and probably even HDB upgraders and private investors as well. So there is a very healthy mix of purchasers within this area, and maybe probably even all over Singapore coming in to invest in this district. So this is one example. Another example, Spottiswoode as well. You can see the purchasers, HDB owners, private owners, HDB owners, and the mix is very healthy. So how does this concern us? That means this district has a lot of attraction for different group of buyers, maybe HDB upgraders, HDB investors who pay the ABSD, and private home owners who buy as an investment with paying ABSD. So can we say that buyers who buy and pay ABSD, there's a very good chance that they would have to increase a strong percentage of the ABSD in order to sell at a higher price later on? So can we say at the average PSF right now, or hovering around 2,000-ish, that we can be expecting something higher because nobody likes to sell their house cheap, isn't it? And of course, Sky Streets, we also look at a very healthy mix of purchases, private and HDB alike. And this is the rental contract that we are looking at in the Spottiswoode itself, the project itself. That's next to the SGH campus as well, because why I use that is because it is equally same in terms of the distance, okay, from the campus to the project, and the landmark is approximate about the same walking distance as well in terms of the distance too. So if that project can fetch so many rentals every quarter, can we say that we would be ready to grab a piece of the pie from this development? And that is saying that the campus is still have not expanded. So imagine when the campus have expanded, how much more tenant demand we can get. You see Spottiswoode alone, this area itself, the contracts are very, very strong, very healthy over the past 2 years. So in my opinion, when you have a district and a locality that has strong rental contracts, the rentability is strong. And how does this concern you? Because today, if you have a unit here for rent, and the rental yield might be attractive, maybe even above 3%, but you also want your unit to always be tenanted out. Because as an investor, every month that your unit is vacant, it causes a dip in your rental yield. So when we are looking at the unit for purely investment, meaning that we are buying just to rent it out to get back the rental yield, we have to look at both. That means the rentability and how much the rental cost it is going to be. As you can see, the location here, Spottiswoode being a 6-year-old project, it's a very nice project. You know, it's very iconic and very beautiful, and their location is approximate about the same. So I add a little bit more about the MRT convenience. Is a very simple convenient diagram. If you go down to the shore flat, make an appointment with our authorized sales representative, you can see the distance. You can see the video as well from the actual walking video from the landmark all the way to Chinatown, and also a 7-minute walk past the greens to Outram Park MRT. Highly convenient. And at days where you don't even feel like walking for less than 5 minutes, you can just take the side gate, go to the bus stop where 174 and 174E will just go straight, make a left turn. One bus stop will just drop you at the door of the Outram MRT station. And isn't that more convenient? And I just want to touch and show you some of the screens, some of the views. That is amazing, taken from the high floor of the landmark tower before it was en bloc. And we have an interview with one of the tenants who has been staying there for 6 years. In fact, he wanted to stay another 3-4 years, but of course the project was en bloc then. You know, he himself, you know, do look for him, you know, when you are along this Boat Quay, you know, Sahara, very nice Indian cuisine as well. He'll be there to serve you. Just mention that hi, Izzat, you are from you should stay at the landmark towers, just dropping by to say hi. Probably he'll give you some discounts and free kebab. Okay, anyway, coming back here, he himself mentioned that the location is perfect. It's a good location, and that's why he loves it. And another interview that I have with Adrian was one of the avid lover. He himself loved the landmark tower, and you know, he was looking to stay for long term. And the view is fantastic. The location is fantastic. And right now he's staying in the more on the western side right now. And when I met up with him to share on how he loves the project, what are some of the key attributes that he loves about this project, he has so much passion to share. And these are something that we can learn from the residents who are actually staying there. They love the location. And the location that you will never miss is when you're driving along CTE, there will be this iconic landmark that towers over the Pursuit Park, and you will never miss that. And why is this important? Because if you look at this copper shimmering, towering project that sits like a gigantic tree, a stable, sturdy tree next to the greens. Isn't that amazing? And the grand entry. Okay, just want to share this more. All this artistic impression, you can find out more from your authorized sales representative. And these are the views. And by the way, every resident that is staying here, they can get to enjoy the view. All the views on level 14, level 34, and even there's a sky roof deck at level 40. You all can get to enjoy it as well. So these are some of the specifications. I will not touch more because there's a separate sales brochure that we can send to you separately. And of course, as you read through all this brochure, please walk through with an authorized sales representative to guide you some of the key points. And most importantly, also, we want to help you to do up your finances, to help you project and plan some of the possible returns as an investor, as a homeowner, or as someone who wants to stay there for long term with a lot of strong potential capital upside in the future should one day you decide to sell. Okay, so this is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for those listening in. And just to summarize, in the city, live, work, play, the CBD is the heart of Singapore Economic Financial Center. And of course, the tenancy potential transformation plan and the convenience of city living. I think that is something that everybody with money, they want to buy convenience. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in to this short presentation, and do meet up with our sales representative in person or via Zoom so that we can take any Q&A that you have. And please allow us to bring you to the show flat and see the amazing show model and the wonderful layout of the 1, 2, and 3 bedders. All right. Thank you very much for tuning in. And with that, we will see each other soon.